What's up? Welcome back to another edition of the Mandatory Post-Fight Live. Remember, if you like the content, you can always make sure to follow us on our social media channels. You'll see in the description below the ways that you can connect with us. Also, if you like the content, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And remember, you can find us on the audio side as well. So leave a rate and review, give us a 5-star. And this is an interactive show, so make sure to drop some comments.
TIm Tszyu, Sebastian Fundora.
Can I say something?
Please.
Fundора's finally fighting like how I've always wanted him to fight.
He's getting better. He's getting better.
and I love it. And because very early on, he loved to box on the inside. And now the way that he's boxing, this is how I wanted Sebastian Fundora to actually box. And he looks great. The size is there. You know, you got a little bit of pop on the punches as well. He's getting to the body. He's starting nice combos. He's moving around the ring. Like, I'm like, whoa. Okay, I see this. And like his dad's doing a great job with him. Like he looked great. And before, I'm not going to lie, I used to hate on Sebastian Fundora a little bit. I used to make fun of him and stuff because I didn't like the way that he fought, which was wrong of me because now he's just like, even TIm Tszyu was like, yeah, this guy's tough. Like he's a very tough boxer.
He quit.
And he's tough. Yeah, he was like no mas.
Oh. TIm Tszyu got 3 losses now, and he's 30. One thing that struck me about TIm Tszyu after he beat Joey Spencer, so this was a while ago, was he after the fight said something in the ring. Like they just interview. They asked him a question, and they asked him about carrying on his father's legacy. Didn't his dad go to that fight? I think Kostya Tszyu went to that fight. And it was, they reconnect, whatever. Like it was this whole story they were telling. And I remember this part well, where they asked him about that. And he talked about continuing on the legacy and maybe his kids will, whatever. And his wife was like, no, and like shaking her head, which tells you a lot. Mm-hmm. I don't think his wife is crazy about him doing this. And it's probably the style that he fights. And TIm Tszyu was always somebody where I was like, I think there's a cap on this because again, like with me at this style, you have to be really, really good at it. It's almost like the shooting guard in the NBA who doesn't play a ton of defense. In order for you to really be effective, you have to be an efficiency monster. Otherwise, you're Tyler Hero. Like that's ultimately what it is. Like you have to be an efficiency fucking monster. And like in this sport, TIm Tszyu is not somebody who's revered for his defense. He's going to fight fire with fire every time. And there's a cap on that. And Sebastian Fundora, he's getting better at using his reach, which is scary because if this is the case now, not to fantasy book future fights, but like, Xander Zayas is fighting for a title this coming week in a fight against Jorge Garcia Perez, who beat Charles Conwell in an upset earlier this year. And Terrence Crawford don't think he's going to be long for this division. He's got a title, and he's obviously going to move up and fight Canelo Alvarez. Bakhram Murtazaliev versus Sebastian Fundora is a very interesting hypothetical. We'll see where Vergil Ortiz and Boots Ennis and Xander Zayas fall into that mix. But if Sebastian Fundora is this gets real interesting in this division. Real interesting.
He's 27 years old, so I feel like he's probably grown into his power. I don't think he gets any stronger than this, but yeah, if he continues to use his reach and get better using his reach, he's going to cause some problems for sure. I will say this, that I think there could be some very, very good fights. I mean, I'm going to keep it real. I would love to see Sebastian Fundora and Vergil Ortiz. And I would listen, that's a tough fight. Like, especially if Sebastian is fighting like how he is now, but I'm taking Vergil, just saying that. I'm a bigger Vergil fan. I think I've said that on this show many times. Let's get to some comments really quick, Brian. Steven says Fundora actually fought tall, but he fatigued pretty early. It's interesting.
He was catching some bombs too from TIm Tszyu. Like that was a surprising thing also, Shantelle. Like when they stopped the fight or when TIm Tszyu was like no mas, I thought he was actually kind of like starting to do well. And I was like, oh, this might turn.
Yeah.
And yeah, it didn't happen.
He got into a little bit of a rhythm, but I'll say this much: when Sebastian Fundora throws his right hook, he leaves himself completely open. So if Tim Tszyu had a little bit more footwork and a little bit more head movement, it's like use your footwork, use your head movement, and land an uppercut. He's leaving himself wide open. Like they're not like tight shots that Sebastian Fundora is throwing. Like sometimes they're just like very wide left hooks, very wide right hooks, and I'm just like, if I'm always gonna be the shorter fighter. I'm just like, I'm gonna use my footwork there. I'm gonna get on the inside and land an uppercut. I might take a shot. And TIm Tszyu took some shots, but it's like there are still flaws to Fundora's boxing. There are, and so he's beatable. It's not like he's not beatable.
Yeah.
I just don't think that. I think we know what TIm Tszyu is now. That's what I'll say. I think we
knew before, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you know what? I said in the first fight, if TIm Tszyu didn't have that cut, that nasty gash that happened, that he probably would have won. I don't know. I think Fundora's fought really well, and I think he deserves a lot of credit. And he seems like a really nice guy too. Like in his like post game interviews, like he seems very humble. So you kind of like the guy and want to root for him. And he's not really pissing me off anymore with the way that he fights. I just think that there's flaws. Like there's definite flaws, and I just wish TIm Tszyu had more head movement. Like you gotta, yeah. Like, well, that's the thing. Like, it's like you gotta move. You gotta have some lateral movement when you fight Sebastian Fundora, and you gotta move your head.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's what you have to do. So it's like you're okay. Like he's throwing these, right hooks and these left hooks, and like he's leaving himself wide open.
Mm-hmm.
Land the uppercut. Like get in there, land the uppercut. You might take the shot, but just land the uppercut. It's there for you. I don't know. That's what I saw.
Well, I still think to go back a little bit, I still think TIm Tszyu would have won the first fight, because if you remember, that first fight was a split decision, and TIm Tszyu was undefeated at the time, so he hadn't fought Murtazaliev yet, and that was a fight where going in, it was like, oh, okay, like he's picking out this dude. This is probably going to be tougher than he thinks, and he tried to just go balls to the wall and just brawl him, and he paid for it, and that kind of changed him. His only win in his last 4 fights is Joey Spencer. Typically, when you get to this point in your career, it's not going to go too well. I'm sure he could still, sell well in a venue in Australia in his next fight, in a comeback fight. He probably needs a couple of those before he can get back to this level in a serious way. But to your point about Sebastian Fundora, I do think he's gotten better, and it makes things more interesting. That being said, all the guys that we talked about, I mean, I would still probably favor at least a little bit all of them to beat Sebastian Fundora, Vergil Ortiz, Boots Ennis, Terrence Crawford, we're not even going to mention. Maybe even Yoenis Tellez, who looks pretty good. Bakhram Murtazaliev, Xander Zayas, assuming he beats Jorge Garcia Perez. Like, all of those dudes could beat Sebastian Fundora, because we've seen Sebastian Fundora pay for this already. And to your point, he was taking a lot of shots today. Like, he was taking a lot of shots tonight, and looked like he was going to fall on any one of those at one point, but ultimately, like, his chin held up. His chin didn't hold up against Brian Mendoza, and it didn't hold up in a great way against Erickson Lubin, which was a fun back and forth fight. By the way, Erickson Lubin's another guy that if they have a rematch, and I think that's a rematch you can sell, like Erickson Lubin could beat Sebastian Fundora right now. But I think this division is fun because
I knew you were going to say Erickson Lubin when I was like taking a look at the list. I'm like,
he's Lubin's legit.
He has experience, like,
and he's kind of chinny as well. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
This division, I don't think, and a lot of people would say like Vergil Ortiz is this and Boots Ennis is this. I don't think there's a clear number one. I think talent wise, Boots maybe, but we haven't even seen him at this weight yet. And honestly, Emantas Stanionis is his best win. And while we both think Stanionis is good, he also fought twice in 3 years leading up to that fight. So, like, I do want to see Boots against, like, top flight competition as well.
Yeah, so I'm going to take Boots out of the conversation because we haven't seen him at 154 pounds.
Yeah, fair.
So I'm not even going to talk about him in this division until we see him in this division. I think ceiling-wise, yeah, like, Boots has all the talent. I've talked about Boots enough. I think Bud would obviously be the best in this division, but he's moving up.
Yeah, he's done.
Well, he's moving up. He's fighting Canelo, right? So let's take him out of the conversation. We know how great he is. I still pick Vergil Ortiz over Sebastian Fundora. I think he would be the best in this division to me if I had to take out everybody else. Like, I'm picking Vergil over Sebastian Fundora any day. Any day. Vergil has power. He has a high work rate. He's going to get hit a lot, and he might get dropped, but he'll figure it out. He makes mistakes, but that's what I love about Vergil, and he's exciting. I think Vergil Ortiz, if we take Boots out, not even have him in the conversation, and Bud is doing Canelo things, Vergil Ortiz would be my guy in this division.
It's probably him or Murtazaliev. The problem is,
Yes.
for whatever reason, Murtazaliev can't get a fight. Like we're approaching a year. It's been 9 months since his last fight. We don't know what his next fight's going to be. And I forget the outlet, if it was Boxing Scene or one of the other ones, that ran a story recently about like how he just can't get a fight right now.
I think Murtazaliev, for him, I don't know if a lot of people want to fight him because it's a scary fight.
He's a boogeyman. He's not marketable.
Yes.
He's not from like, I want to say he's Russian. Yeah. Even though he lives in
California.
California.
It's wild though. Murtazaliev, and you guys heard me just talk about Vergil Ortiz, but I think Murtazaliev could probably beat Fundora and Vergil Ortiz.
Maybe, but I can see why nobody wants to fight him.
Yeah, I think we need more of a sample size. That's what I think we need from him. But so far from what we've seen, he'd be my second favorite in this division. No disrespect to Sebastian Fundora. I just still think there's some flaws.
And this is a division we'll probably talk about again next week or the week after, because Xander Zayas is fighting. And it's not a given that he's going to win this fight. Like Jorge Garcia he's tough. He's tough. This is going to be a tough fight for him. Xander Zayas is the favorite, should be the favorite. It's not a given. And we'll see how he looks, because now this is, to this date, to this point, his ultimate test. And I think it'll be a legitimately good win. Like a good win, because a lot of people thought, and they probably backtrack now, but a lot of people thought Charles Conwell was the boogeyman in this division, and he lost to Jorge Garcia. So if you beat the guy that beats the boogeyman in your first title fight, like that's a legitimate win, and you're a champion at that point. But we'll see.
Yeah, and I think here's the thing. I think even if Xander Zayas wins, people are going to be like, well, who has he fought? Well, Jorge Garcia is a tough fight. But I think the issue is that no matter how Xander performs in this fight, he's going to get criticized because of all the pressure around him. If he doesn't get the stoppage, and Jorge Garcia is a tough fight, by the way, people are going to be like, oh, he should have got the stoppage. And then there's going to be that. And then people are going to be like, well, who has he fought when we start comparing him? So I think for Xander Zayas, a lot of the conversations are so unfair to him. But he has all the tools and skills to be very, very good. Personally, I would love to see him against Vergil Ortiz. He needs to be in a big fight. He needs to be in a big fight after this fight. He needs a big name, like a name that can resonate. Maybe a TIm Tszyu.
The thing is, I think the WBO is going to make him fight Josh Kelly, because that's already been rumored before. And Josh Kelly, as you can see here, is number 3. Like I think they're going to put him in some fight like that, and Top Rank will probably do that first. Xander Zayas, by the way, he turns 23 in September.
So young.
So I also think Top Rank is kind of like, yo, like we'll get you to Vergil, but maybe in like 2027 or something along those lines. Let Vergil have a few more wars. Like I could see them managing him that way. Do I think he's ready for them right now? I think the Jorge Garcia fight will tell us a lot. If he wins a one-sided unanimous decision and he wins damn near every round, I think that's going to say a lot, given that the fight with Charles Conwell, while Garcia won, it was close. It was legitimately very close.
I'll say this, though. Say if he does beat Jorge Garcia, and he does it and he dominates. Let's just say. And I don't know if that happens because it's a tough fight. If he was to fight TIm Tszyu, because TIm Tszyu just lost, then there's a pathway to Sebastian Fundora, because we don't really know what Fundora is going to do next. Right? There's talk, is he going to fight Spence? And then the fight with Spence doesn't happen. Right? So it's like there is an actual pathway for Xander Zayas. And obviously it's like, the WBC and the WBO, whatever. But I think there's a pathway. And Ryan Hong, good friend of the show, we haven't seen you for a minute, Ryan, says, TIm Tszyu is done. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Do you think he's going to keep on boxing? I think he might. I
think he might. Might be a minute, though. Fundora, I could see him fighting, because I'm thinking of who's another PBC guy. So, okay, let's say Pacquiao Barrios 2 happens in November, December. I could see the co-feature being Sebastian Fundora versus Jesus Ramos, for example. Ramos is ranked number 2 by the WBC. I think that's a pretty good fight. I think Ramos is like, a lot of people thought he got robbed against Erickson Lubin. So there's a strong case that Jesus Ramos right now could still be undefeated. I think Sebastian Fundora, by the way, against Jesus Ramos would not be a given either. think Ramos could potentially win that. So I could see, like, I would do that. I would do Pacquiao Barrios too. I would have the co-main event be Fundora versus Jesus Ramos. And in that fight, while Fundora probably will be the favorite, I'm like, Ramos, like, low-key probably should have beaten Lubin. And, you know, Ramos is good. He's tough.
No, I agree with that. All right. I think we should move on, though, Bryan, because we've got a lot to get to. I don't have anything else to say about this. If you do, drop your comments. Let us know what you think about Sebastian Fundora and who he should fight next. Also, what you think should happen to TIm Tszyu in terms of if he should still continue to fight, if he should hang it up, or if he should maybe take a little bit of a break before he gets back in the ring.